They be some critter of some type and variety that was aiming for a piece of his luck. Will it be a cricket, a sparrow, or a crow? There's all some of that luck that Lefty was toting around all the time. All of the luck. Yes, it was interesting, but old Lefty decided he had to come up with a plan. He didn't know how he got all the luck, he just know he had it. And he's starting to figure out that everybody's wanting a piece of it. So old Lefty come up with a good plan. And after he takes this here nap, he said he gonna tell me all about it. Now there was this other cat. It was a good friend of Lefty's. I reckon they growed up pretty much as brothers. Came from the same mama cat. One of his brother was named Pancho. Now Pancho was well dressed, eloquent, and smart, and could fight amongst the best of them. He was a fine version of a tomcat. But old Pancho didn't stumble upon the luck. The old Lefty done got it all anyways. It's been pointless to go looking. Every time old Pancho would do his thing and establish some rights and privileges, old Lefty would come up and they'd get into a scrap and Lefty'd win. And Pancho knowed he was a better fighter than Lefty. Lefty knowed it too, but Lefty won because he had all the luck. It took a whole lot of fights for old Pancho to realize there ain't no sense in fighting no lucky cat. And Lefty figured out if you is a lucky cat, there ain't no sense of fighting at all. All it's gonna do is make you spend luck for nothing, for a fight you didn't even need. So old Lefty sure was lucky. Somewhere along the way, looked like that luck was making him a little wise at that. Now, like I told you, Lefty, he done got all the luck. You can't go forgetting that part of the story. Lefty got all the luck. He sure is a lucky cat. Win all his fights, get the naps in just the right spot, and always got the best food around. And Lefty sure was lucky. Got to be this just about the same. Lucky and Lefty went hand in hand. But old Lefty had all the luck. One day he was out in the woods, in the brambles and the trees, and the sun was barely shining through, almost like it looked like it was nightfall. There were so many trees where Lefty was rummaging around, enjoying his luck. And out from the shadows comes this giant guitar player. Boy, he was good now. He was playing the guitar and the fiddle and the bass. Played the drums. This thing from the woods could play all the music there was. And he told old Lefty, he says, I can play all the tunes, every one of them. There ain't a one I can't play. And old Lefty looked at that giant guitar player and run scared for his breath. He was running scared. Ran home and tried to forget all about it. Time he got to the house, the guitar player was sitting on the couch. Old Lefty couldn't shake him. He had a bad feeling about this guitar player. He figured he was out to get his luck, and the way he was playing that music, he might trick old Lefty out of it. Lefty was running from him, scared for his ears, and scared for his tail, and scared for his feathers if he had any. But he had all the luck. And he ran and the guitar player would disappear, and Lefty would enjoy his luck as usual. But every time that guitar player would pop up out of the blue and anywhere too, old Lefty forgot he had all the luck and ran like a chicken. Well, now, this guitar player wasn't a bad sort. He was a kindly, gentle soul that just enjoyed playing his tunes. Just so happens he was about 9 foot tall, really tall to Lefty's eyes, and it spooked him some as he'd never seen anything that big. And that guitar, it looked a whole lot like a weapon or a hammer or something he could really whop somebody with. He was slinging it around and making noises. It sounded pretty good to Lefty. He didn't understand what the guitar player was doing, and it spooked him every time he'd seen him. The old guitar player done figured out that Lefty was spooked by him and decided to have a little sport with old Lefty. Now, he knew Lefty had all the luck, so he couldn't hurt him none. So he had a little fun of spooking old Lefty. And old Lefty was determined to keep his luck. So what fate would befall old Lefty who done got all the luck? And now he's got this 9 foot tall guitar player determined to snatch it from him. At least that's how Lefty sees it. And Lefty said every time he'd hear him play, he'd go running. Every time the guitar player would see old Lefty go running, he'd go chase him. It was a cat and mouse game for hours on end, and Lefty was running for his skin every time he heard that guitar playing them wonderful mellow tunes. Now Lefty knowed he had all the luck. He had to get his senses together and figure out how to deal with this guitar player. So one time he comes up playing his tunes, and old Lefty rubs himself against his feet and tries to nuzzle up to him. And the guitar player sets down his guitar on the stump over there and picks him up and pets old Lefty. Now Lefty's real distrustful at this point. He ain't too sure at all about being petted by no 9 foot giant. And that guitar, it ain't too far away at that. So Lefty was a nervous sort as he was getting stroked and petted, and the guitar player would poke him and wiggle his tail, give him a good back rub, give him a belly rub, and treat old Lefty just as good as he could. But as soon as that old guitar player would lose half an inch of grip, old Lefty would bolt like lightning and run as far as he could, because he had all the luck and he was going to run as far as he had to. Find him a little spot that he'd hide that guitar player couldn't get to. And old Lefty said, I'm going to have to stay here until that guitar player starts to run. But old Lefty didn't know how to make him run. Well, old Lefty would eventually come out from under his little special hiding place, and he would hear that guitar playing in the background because it seemed he was hanging around a lot. He got used to hearing the guitar. Kind of liked it a lot, as everybody did. He was really good and played all the tunes there was. And then one day Lefty just realized he done got real lucky. All that luck done brought the best guitar player in the world from somewhere else. And Lucky realized he was a lucky cat after all. Not only did he have all the luck, he had all the tunes. Now he still get a little spooked when that guitar player come in for a refreshment or so, and come into the living room where Lefty be finding just the right spot. But old Lefty learned just to run a shade to the left or the shade to the right and get them ears open, because he sure liked hearing all them tunes.